Started. We're going to go over a little bit of COVID-19 and how it's affecting us here in real estate. Hi, Sean, and anybody that's coming in. I'm not the Zoom expert here, but if you can, you guys can all stay unmuted. You can mute yourself, whatever you want to do. But I welcome any questions. I want this to be a good shared discussion.
Awesome.
So I ran into my first issue with a COVID screening today that I'm sure everybody's going to run into. So we have an inspection scheduled in the near future, and the owner does not live in Pennsylvania. It's occupied by a tenant. So the tenant was given 45 days to move out, and the tenant won't actually allow us in without being attached at our hip. So how do we combat something like that with all the protocols? I'm going to start by going over, and I'm going to kind of share my screen here. So this is the second time I've tried sharing a screen, so we'll see how that works out. But everybody has seen, did it pop up? Okay.
Yes.
Everybody's seen the business
Yep.
update. Only the most critical individuals present for in-person activities. Everybody needs to wear a face mask. Property staging needs to be done ahead of time. One thing that I noticed that it really doesn't talk about in here is how we accomplish our inspections. So I think it's kind of weird that, you know, when we were going through all this, the question was, where do home inspectors fall in? Are we part of real estate? Are we part of construction? I guess we're kind of a little bit of everything. So make sure, if you guys haven't been on the KW Philadelphia group Facebook to see this, I know it's probably posted there like 100 times, but make sure you guys are all looking at this, and just bear in mind that you may run into something like this. So the client hasn't seen the house yet. They were looking to actually have them do a walkthrough on the house before I came in, but the tenant is actually saying, no, nobody's coming in here because this is my house, even though it's not his house. The tenant's obviously not very happy about the fact that they have to move. So how do we combat that? And we try to approach it in a proactive way with us. And if you guys can see me scrolling up here, we actually have a form that we are using here at Amerispec. And I am sending this out to Brandon. I'm tweaking it a little bit for the new policies out there. But generally, you know, for us to do the inspection, is the property occupied or vacant? If it's occupied, do they have any signs of COVID within the last 14 days? We're actually going through that locally here, where we've had a few. And if that's coming into play, and I'll ask Alexa to chime in here whenever she wants to. But I think that's one of the reasons that we have the COVID addendum in the agreements now going under contract is, you know, what happens if that's an occupied home and the person has COVID-19. You've already done your virtual tour and showing, and now we've got to get an inspection done. So how do we do that? So if somebody comes back, and the form that I have goes out to the buyer's agent to be distributed to the buyer and the seller, we actually want them both filled out so that we have a good idea on what's going on. But if somebody does have COVID or they've shown signs, then we're probably going to say, all right, let's see if we can work together, and let's put this inspection off until they're done their 2 weeks of quarantine and that they're symptom free, or that they have a negative result. We've had a lot in the medical community where we've had people that show signs of it, and then they go get tested and they're actually negative for COVID. So, you know, there's a lot of different viral bugs out there that hit people, and that can mimic it. Seasonal allergies are another big thing. You start coughing, your sense of smell can get messed up. And typically with people looking at COVID, that loss of smell is like the first sign you have to go get tested. So if anybody's had any of those symptoms, we'll approach that on a case by case. We're doing our best not to violate patient privacy. And for those of you guys that aren't aware, I also work in the military as a medic, and I work in public health, and I've been working on that for about 25 years now. So when it came out with all the standards, I think what we're doing here is actually exceeding some of those for the health and safety factor. So number 3, if can you guys still all see my screen here?
Yeah, we can see it.
So number 3 is if the property is occupied, are the occupants able to vacate the property 1 hour prior to inspection? That's for airborne droplets. And I think something just came out the other day that said the risk of getting COVID off a surface is minimal. The issue with it is that it's not exactly a very heavy type of droplet. So it does take some time for everything to settle down. When we're walking through our house, I'm sure everybody's walked through a house and seen, through a sunlit window, dust particles and things like that. So within an hour, more than 75% of your droplets are in contact with the surface. And that's a reasonable amount of time for us to be able to go in and inspect properly with minimal risk of airborne droplets. The other thing that we want to know here, does the buyer have any specific major health conditions that could be impacted as a result of not having a home inspection completed? So what if our buyer has a heart condition, or they've got post-traumatic stress is a big one, or major anxiety? Those types of things, especially with everything that was shut down, can be a really big impact on our buyers and on our sellers also. So we definitely want to know that. And the reason I put that in there, I want to be able to talk to the client and reassure them of the precautions that we're taking to make sure that that home is safe. And again, we actually put in there, don't elaborate on it. We just need a yes or no. And we were doing this during the shutdown while we were still able to work at a few different times through that, because that was one of the policies from the state was, if there's a health reason to get this done, then certainly you can do it. And then 10 minutes later, the policy changed again. But we kept that in there because we definitely want to know is, does our buyer have something going on where this could be impacted? And this is really a question that, looking back, I think inspectors should have been asking since the beginning of inspections. Because when we look at houses, if I know that my client has a mold allergy, I may be paying more particular attention than normal to those smaller things. Like when we see that dark staining in a bathroom above a shower because there's no vent, we might see some mold staining up there. It's not a big deal for us per se, but for a client with a mold allergy, that could be a very major impact on them. And most of the agents that I've worked with know that I have a mold allergy. So mine's not that bad, but when I'm in a basement, like an unfinished basement in North Philly, or in South Philly, my nose goes crazy after a little bit because of the mold that can be in there. But we also want to know what their health conditions are so we can explain in better terms to them after we're done the inspection of what's going on. So along with that, the second page on this form, we have specific infection control and public health protocols. It includes, we're going to be at a minimum, be using respiratory and nitrile gloves. We're not using latex because a lot of people nowadays have allergies to latex. And we're disinfecting and decontaminating any areas we come in contact with, which includes door handles, faucet handles, countertops, light switches, anything we really have to touch. Now, this part right here is going to be changing, where it says our current policy regarding inspections is that only our inspectors permitted to enter the inspection building during inspections. Clients and agents are not permitted. And now this was during our shutdown, where we really had to be extra cautious. We're getting rid of that third paragraph or fourth paragraph in there. But on occupied homes, we're still actually following the policy that we don't want anybody walking in the home with us. It's not that we don't love our clients, I do, and I love my agents, but this is definitely the public health settling for the sellers and for the most of it, because clients like to come in, they want to look at stuff, and we want them to be able to do that. But on an occupied home right now, a lot of sellers and a lot of homeowners get really leery about having people come out. So we send this out so that they're aware of what our policy is and how we're going to take care of their home. On vacant homes, I think within the next 2 weeks, we are probably going to start permitting clients back into vacant homes with us. There's a couple of things on the public health front that I'm watching before I pull that trigger to say, okay, we can go into a vacant home together. And even when we do, we're going to be following gloves, masks, And pretty much like the written statement, like you see here, is going to include verbiage, walk, feel free, ask questions, don't touch anything, because anything they touch, we're going to have to decon. And I think over time, things are going to lighten up a little bit, and we'll start seeing more relaxed procedures. But I think with everything here, from what the public health community is saying, we're definitely going to be doing gloves and masks for a while, and making sure that we take extra precautions, even after we don't use those, to make sure that we're properly protecting the home. And right now, what we're doing to solve that issue is what we're doing right now. We have Zoom. So I'm actually doing Zoom sessions with clients. I'm following up with phone calls, but if there's something major, or especially those first-time buyers or the nervous buyers, we'll actually set up a Zoom session right after the inspection and walk them through the house. The other thing that you guys should be aware of going forward, I just did an inspection report this morning for a house I did this morning, and it is 57 pages long. And whenever I say that, people cringe. The main reason for that is the amount of pictures we're putting into these reports now, because the clients can't be there. We're actually throwing probably 2 to 3 times as many pictures in, because I want them to see a 360 of the room. I want them to see how that kitchen looks from top to bottom. And those pictures get pretty big. So we are definitely working on ways to minimize that. But at the same time, just remember, when you're looking at our reports, a lot of those bold pictures are in the overview sections, and your summary is always going to be first. With most home inspectors, your summary is right at the front of the report. But there's always going to be those little maintenance issues and those general comments in there. And definitely we want you guys to ask questions. I know the first comment anybody's going to say is, hey, how do we shorten the report up? We're working on it. I don't know how other companies are doing it. I do know that for me, I know the clients definitely want to have eyes on the home, and we want to make sure they have that in any way we can give it to them. So that's this was I wanted to make this more of a shared discussion than me talking about what the policies are out in the public. And I know right now we're working on getting some stuff for you guys down at the offices, and there'll be more information coming out on that, but we're working on getting you guys gloves and masks and shoe covers. But stuff takes a little bit of time to come in. We should be getting stuff in later in this week, I hope. So for me as an inspector, and this is not about branding myself, it's not about, hey, wow, let's use Amerispec. I want to know from the agents, what are you guys looking for from us to make the transactions a little more smooth, and policy-wise, how can I work to better what I do out in the field to help your clients? What are some of those barriers you're looking at right now? And by all means, unmute and ask away.
You can also ask in the chat too, and I'm happy to read them.
Yep, I forgot about that. We have the chat. Hi, Maya. I'm sorry, I didn't see you come in earlier. All right, so I'm guessing nobody has any questions yet. So I'm going to try to go into a little bit more about something that I want to do to be able to help out my KW family. And I would love your feedback on it. We started a program, I guess about 2 years ago, Alexa. We started doing those enhanced showings to bring me out to some of the showings with the agents.
Yeah, I think so.
So for any of you that are not familiar with it, this is a program that I do, and I only do it for KW. I don't even do it for other agents that use me repeatedly. But something that might help you feel a little bit safer as you're going out doing showings. I try to aim this at our hometown heroes, the veterans, firemen, cops, healthcare workers, teachers, and first-time buyers. But if you ever have a nervous buyer, and especially now with COVID, any buyer you have, if you're scheduling a showing and you're not feeling comfortable going in for the showing, give me a call. I will donate 30 to 60 minutes to come down to a showing with you and your client, and I do zero inspecting while I'm there, But what I will do is, if I know the address before I get down there, I'll actually research the property and be able to help educate your clients on things to look for in that property themselves during the showing before they even get ready to go under contract. Again, there's no inspecting with it, and especially now with what's going on publicly, I want to make sure everybody's aware that I'm willing to donate time if I have that time available to come down to a showing. Time right now I know is a precious thing, and I'm guessing everybody that's in here right now is probably just as busy as I've been for the last couple of weeks. I never knew you could do a thumbs up in Zoom, but thanks, Maya, I appreciate that. Some feedback from around the table here. What do you guys think about what I've gone over so far? And is there anything that you're looking at as an agent that I can do from my end to help you and your clients? And I'm just going to open it up to everybody.
Yeah, I found it very informative. I don't have any specific questions or any specific concerns for anything right now, but you did open my eyes to, I love the fact that you would be willing to go to to a showing. That's something to keep in mind if I do have a nervous buyer in the future. That's helpful. Thank you.
Awesome. Thanks, Jennifer. And actually, I'm going to type in right now. Now, I know Alexa has my information, but I'm typing, so pardon me, guys. I'm looking the other way. And for anybody that is familiar with us, we actually changed our name for our company. We're still Amerispec, but we are now Amerispec of Greater Philadelphia. Thanks to one of my agents down there saying, hey, if everybody sees Amerispec Bucks County, they think you only work in Bucks County. So we did our name change. Let me get this up here for you. And I'm gonna make sure you guys have my contact information. Anybody else want to share anything or anything, any barriers that you've come across since we've reopened? Okay. Is there anything that you guys are looking at as far as information on COVID or public health that that you're not hearing about? Or is there anything that's really with the stuff I just put out, especially with that one graph? Is there anything that worries you about moving forward here, other than the fact that I think we're in a buyer and seller market at the same time? Danelsi, what are your thoughts?
I do not have any at this time, Dave, but thank you so much for everything.
You know I was going to pick you out, right?
Of course.
Listen, like I said, this is a pretty short session, and like I said, I want to make sure you guys know I did put in the chat for my contact information. I know everybody's really trying to recover from the last couple of months. Alexa, if you can, when we're done here, just give me a quick call so we can actually just stay on when everybody bounces out, or give me a call afterwards, whichever.
Sure.
I got to go over some stuff with you on the Fishtown office.
Okay.
So is anybody here brand new with the KW brand, or at least new with KW Philadelphia?
Yes, I'm completely new in all aspects of real estate and KW.
Well, congratulations and welcome to the family.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
So Alejandro, definitely take my information down. I'm trying to make sure I reach out to some of the newer agents. So with you being new to the family, I've been working with Philadelphia now for just over 2 years. I'm a 2 times Bold guy. So I'm sure your mentors at KW will tell you to go to Bold. Anastasia, I'm glad we were able to help you out today. Thank you so much for attending. But Alejandro, I definitely we'll talk a little bit more. Feel free to give me a shout with any questions you have. I'm here to help you out.
Will do. Look forward to it, and thank you again.
All right, no worries. Have a great one, sir. Daniel, Sean, Maya, Jennifer, Danelsi, and Mark, we really appreciate you guys coming in today. whatever we can do to help you out. Like I said, I know I said it and I sound like a broken record, but my job here is not just inspecting homes, because I know there's a lot of new faces for me in here. I actually retired as a 911 dispatcher early, before my 20 years to do this, because my home inspector got it wrong when I moved into my place. And there's a lot of realtors that get into real estate because of bad deals, but you know, I'm always here to help you guys out. A lot of people have their own inspectors, but you know, I will never try to take your primary guy away from you. But I want you guys to know that I'm always here for help or information, or just to call and chit chat. And if you guys need stuff, just feel free to reach out. And thanks for attending today.
Thank you very much, David.
All right, Sean, we'll see you soon.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dave. Be safe.
You too.
Thank you. Thank you, guys. Take care.
Hey, Dave, I'm still here.
Yeah, I'm just waiting on Danelsi to log out.
Sorry, I'm leaving. Bye.
We're kicking you out.
All right. Yeah, like I said to Autumn the other day, this was going to be a pretty short one.
Yeah, no, I think it went really well. And I think that once we send out the information about, you know, giving PPE and all of that stuff, people will probably have more questions for you.
Yeah, no, that's what I wanted to talk to you about, because you're running the Fishtown office, right?
Yes.
So how bad is the damage down there?
So the one window is broken. I don't know if you knew about that.
Yeah, that I found out from Jerry the other day.
So it's just, luckily it's just one window. He threw a rock into it and it shattered it, unfortunately. So they had to break the rest of the window, and it's all boarded up now. And there was a glass company that came out to give a quote, and hopefully that'll be done within the next upcoming days. Now all of the shades are down in the office, but other than that, you know, the alarm's still on, it's still secure. I was there that day when they were boarding it up with Tori.
Did they break in and take anything, or did they just break the window?
So the guy smashed the window and he took an hourglass that was like from Target, that was just sitting in the window, that was still there from, like, you know, the staging.
Really?
That was it. That was it. I can't make that up.
Yeah, that's kind of, I think that's just an idiot being an idiot.
That's pretty much it. And then he just walked away. So that's why the alarms weren't tripped. But we pretty much, the only thing we moved out of the way after we put down the shades were, you know, the desktop, but nothing else is really down there. The citywide team brings their laptops with them, and she moves Philly, has up at their office. The shades are down and everything's locked away as well.
Oh, wow.
So he
So
did not do anything else.
So I know when Autumn and I were talking, I gave her the idea, and the reason I asked about how the building was there's more. I'm sure Autumn talked to you about the donation we're doing, right?
Yes.
So we've got
Which is
even
really
more
exciting.
coming.
Okay.
I actually have a friend of mine that works with Defense Logistics. He's working on getting us another 1,000 masks, 1,000 gloves. I have
great.
10 boxes of gloves from my firehouse coming, and we got a lot of shoe covers coming, even though now they're saying you don't need them, but we're going to have them anyway.
Yeah.
So the thought that I had with Autumn, and I'm guessing she's going to work that out with you, is I have my 2 new employees, Gail and Cherry.
Okay.
Gail is in training right now. She's got to do 40 hours of training on the computer. Then she's doing a virtual academy with our training center in Tennessee. So
Okay.
she's got 6 days of that. But by the time she's done, we should have everything. So the thought that I gave Autumn was, once we have everything in and we know we're ready to disperse it, because we got to bag everything, we're actually going to Ziploc bag packs to give out to all the agents.
Okay.
And my thought was, let's set up 2 different days and have somebody from my staff at both locations on both days to do disbursement at Fishtown and at Society Hill. Since they're like the best place. You're not going to get people to stop in at the door on Market Street or
Yeah.
on Walnut. But Society Hill, they can pull in, Fishtown, they can pull up, and maybe just be able to set up a couple of tables. People come by, they open the door, we hand it right through the door to them, and they've got enough for themselves and a few of their clients to help get them started.
I think so. Autumn discussed that today. We had a leadership meeting this morning.
Okay.
And I actually think that Chris said that it might be easier to do one day at 1619 and one day at Fishtown.
So he wants to do it at Walnut or instead of Society Hill?
That's what I think. Yeah.
Wow.
So that's something that we can go over if you don't think that would be the best plan, but we can definitely do it at both offices. And I know that they had a question about Autumn about how everything would be bagged and if you needed us to order anything.
No, this is totally this donation's directly from me. You guys don't need to buy
Okay.
anything. So next time, because I know when Autumn and I talked about it, that's what we were saying was we'll do one location one day and
Yeah.
do another location another.
Which is great.
But I also have enough staff that if you wanted to do it at both locations on one day and then both locations on another one, we can do that too. Whatever works for you guys
Okay.
works for us. And I know there, when Autumn was talking to me, Walnut, Society Hill, and Fishtown they're the big three.
Yeah.
The only reason we thought Society Hill would work was because you actually have the valet drive up.
Right.
And people could hop out right there.
That's definitely something to take into consideration. When do you think that, is it within the next upcoming weeks will be the 2 days that you guys will be in the office, just so we can start putting stuff together?
Give me a second. I'm not ignoring you. I'm actually looking at my Amazon to see when my orders are coming in.
No, that's okay.
This is the fun part is having multiple screens at your disposal.
I
You
know.
start doing Zoom and people are like, what the heck's he looking at? All right, let me see here. All right, so I have got a lot of plumbing stuff. And are we friends on my regular Facebook?
Yes, we are.
So did you see the new toy we bought for inspections?
Yeah, it was really cool.
Yeah, I've let my daughter drive that around a little bit. She's loving it.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so I've got to fabricate a bracket for it because it doesn't have infrared. So to do crawl spaces, I need to have some light. So it looks like I've got one package, another 100 pack of shoe covers that are coming in sometime between now and the 28th.
Okay.
The gloves are coming between May 28th. The ones that I ordered, which is 4 boxes, because I have the other ones coming in from the firehouse and from DLA. So the box that I ordered is coming in sometime before the 1st. We already got 5. We have 250 masks minus 3 of them that we're using at the house. Those already came in. We have another 100 shoe covers that have already come in. We have 600 more shoe covers coming between the 3rd and the 10th. So I think we're going to have a lot of stuff that we can start divvying out probably by late next week. Now here's the downside. I'm booking up faster than I can blink.
Yeah.
So if we're going to do a day that we're going to, if we decide that we want to do both locations on one day, or if we're going to do one location, we got to figure out a time frame for it because I don't mind. And here's the thing: I don't mind turning away an inspection for the day to come down and help you guys. With the way business is right now, I could use the time off.
Okay.
Like I said, busy is a good problem.
Right. So you're going to have one person from your team at Fishtown and then one at Society Hill.
Yeah, we can do that. Or if we have to go to Walnut, then we'll do Walnut. I'm just looking to see. Right now, I'm booked. Let me see what day I can actually do for you guys. Do you want to try to do this next week and then do it the week after?
Yeah, I think that would be a good idea. I think it might be good for us to, like, you, Autumn, and I to have a meeting too, since she's also in contact with the building at 1619, just so we can come up with a plan that we can present to, the rest of the leadership team. And then maybe we could have you write something that we can include in an email blast, with your logo and information and just what you would like to say, to the agents about what, we're going to offer.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm simple about that stuff. You guys know I don't like doing that. I'm easy enough with you guys saying, hey, Amerispec's doing this, or just even, hey, we have donations coming in. It's not about the, I don't need the pat on the back or even want it. I just want you guys to be safe.
Yeah.
And that's, this whole idea came up because Jerry called me because he was looking for shoe covers and couldn't find any at Home Depot. And 5 minutes after we're off the phone, I'm like, well, if he's having that problem, there's like
Then
400 other agents down there that are having the same problem.
Right.
So, the big push for me is, I want to get this out to your agents and to their clients so that everybody's safe.
Mhm.
So right now I'm booked up through Tuesday the 2nd. So I have the 3rd. Let me find out one thing here. Give me 1 second. Because I also know I have a drill weekend coming up with the military at some point.
Okay. Is there another time this week that you think Autumn and me and you can talk?
Should be able to. Give me 1 sec.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm trying to do 2 things at once and it doesn't work when I'm at home.
No, that's okay.
All right, let me see here. What is today? Is the 26th? So I have to, my wife's going out to refinance her car tomorrow morning. So I have a 1 o'clock inspection down in North Philly. So I've got all morning tomorrow. And then Friday, I've probably got after 3 o'clock.
Okay, let me text with Autumn to see if tomorrow morning would work, and then I can make a Zoom link for us. Because tomorrow we should be good. Actually, because we have coffee with Chris from 8 a.m. to 8:30, and then the top 20%. Yeah, tomorrow actually might be hard.
Yeah, you guys have your top 20 tomorrow, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't want to miss out on that.
Yeah, and especially in case they need help with the guests or Zoom, I should probably be on that one.
All right, well, I'm pulling this up right now for dates. So do you guys want to do like 3:30 Friday? Would that work do you want to see if Autumn can do that, or how's your schedule look on Friday?
Yeah, that sounds like a plan. I will ask her, and then I can send you both an email with a link if that works.
Yeah, that'll work. Just give me 1 sec. I'm trying to see, waiting for my computer to load up. This thing's worse than my government computer. It's bad. Every time this thing gets slow, I feel like I've got to buy another laptop.
I know. That's how I feel.
Yeah, and then I wonder why I give my good laptop to my employees. So 13, 14 June, I think, yeah, the 13th and 14th of June is my drill weekend with the military, and I think I'm actually there the 11th and 12th. So talk to Autumn, and let's see if we can do something either Thursday or Friday of next week for distribution.
Okay.
We should be able to
That
get
sounds
it
like a plan.
ready by then. And I mean,
Yeah.
if Chris is really insistent on helping out with this, he can buy me Ziploc bags.
Okay.
But otherwise, I'm already ordering like 300 of them.
Okay.
So, and then once we get through next week, whatever we're waiting on, will be coming in the following week, and we can just do, if we do Thursday for distribution next week, and Wednesday the following week, we should be good to go. We should be able to get a lot out there.
Yeah, that sounds like a good plan.
I think the one thing that Autumn and I discussed was possibly you guys sending out an email blast to all the agents.
Yes.
So we get an idea of who wants one, and then following up with, okay, so we're going to earmark for those particular people at whatever location that they can come out to, but we'll still have extras on board to give out.
Okay.
Does that sound like a plan?
Yeah, that sounds like a really good plan.
So that way, if I know I've got 30 agents that are coming to Fishtown because they responded, then I know I've got to keep 30 of them at Fishtown for those people.
Right. Okay.
All right.
That sounds like a good plan. Yeah. And I will send you an email and follow up with Autumn about 3:30 on Friday.
All right. That sounds great. I'll look forward to it. And
Thanks, Dave.
just give me, how horrible I am with getting back to emails. And I am sorry. I wanted to get back. I've been doing 2 a day and 3 a day since the 11th.
No, that's okay. I can shoot you a text if that's okay.
Yeah, shoot me a text well, you can email me the link, but on Friday around, sometime before the meeting, just shoot me a text. Let me know you guys are still good for it.
Okay. That sounds like a plan.
All right. And I'll talk to you guys soon. Be safe out there.
Yep. I'll talk to you later. Bye.